For the second day in a row, we have an NHL coach who's been fired. The Oilers are parting ways with head coach Dave Tippett. Who's his replacement and what does this mean for the team going forward? We'll discuss that coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. We have some breaking news out of the Edmonton Oilers organization. The Edmonton Oilers have relieved head coach Dave Tippett and assistant Jim Playfair of their duties. So Ken Holland goes against what he's never done here before. Obviously, Ken Holland's never made a coaching change in season. As longtime GM of the Red Wings and now with the Oilers, like he's been in the league as an executive for a long time, and this is not something that he's used out of his playbook in the past. Any other coaching changes always happen in the offseason. So I think it's fair to say this is something that he probably did not really want to do. I don't know if we can put all of this on Tippett, although I do think that there's some things that have surprised me during his tenure with the Oilers, which last parts of 3 seasons. Of course, he and Holland came in together. Holland was hired first, Tippett shortly thereafter. He had a coaching record of 95, 62, and 14 with the Oilers. One glaring stat that's certainly not great is a 1-7 record in the playoffs. 2 playoff appearances in back-to-back years. 1 sweep and 1 4-1 defeat. So he only won 1 game in 2 playoff rounds. That's not getting it done. Of course, the other thing, though, that Dave Tippett came to the Oilers as a reputation of being a very demanding coach, a very defensive first, defensive structured coach. And this team, maybe it's more of a personnel issue. That's why I don't want to give, all the blame on Tippett. I don't think that's fair. But I'm surprised that they never developed better structure that way, because even though there are certainly times that this team really relied heavily, which is a lot actually, on its high-end talent, they just never got good enough defensively to keep the puck out of their own nets. A lot of that also falls on goaltending. Tippett never really had a real solid start. I mean, Mike Smith at times was really good, but he's often injured. Mikko Koskinen has not been cutting it. Goaltending has been a big problem in Edmonton for quite some time. Ken Holland, as general manager, has not addressed it. The only move they've made this season, even though they've had a lot of struggles and inconsistency, was signing Evander Kane after he was let go from the San Jose Sharks, which, it's certainly... I don't know if you could debate that was the greatest move, but at least it comes with low risk where it's a short term and a small amount of money. So even if it doesn't work out and he doesn't produce enough goals to make you say that it really made a difference, well, you know what? It was worth trying it considering what he's produced in the past. And obviously at this point, he's still likely getting up to game shape considering how little he had played earlier in the year. And that's only going to hopefully, for his sake, get progressively better. Now, taking over for Tippett is Jay Woodcroft, who comes up from AHL from Bakersfield. He's also bringing his assistant, Dave Manson. Now, apparently the reputation down there from what these coaches have been doing at the AHL affiliate is how hard working this team is. Dave Manson's done a real good job with the D-Corps, of course, a former longtime NHL defenseman himself. So hopefully he can help with that. Woodcroft obviously worked with the Oilers previously as an assistant, also worked in San Jose. Has been the head coach in Bakersfield, not for very long, but still done a good job. So clearly this is a move that, like I said, Ken Holland probably didn't want to make, but felt he had to. Another bad loss last night. They just can't seem to get the consistency together. They had a really bad stretch, followed by, a little bit of ups and downs. They had the All-Star break and then just haven't really come back, or being able to get a good winning streak going, which is what this team needs to really try their best to get in the playoffs. The playoffs are far from a guarantee at this point, and I think Ken Holland deserves his fair share here of the blame for not addressing the goaltending and to a degree the way the team is structured, which obviously falls on the GM, not the head coach. Tippett can only do with what he's got to work with, but like I said, I'm surprised in a way that he wasn't able to do more, but I think as much of the blame has to go on Kenny Holland here, but we'll see what comes next. This new coaching staff has a good reputation. Their AHL team's been super hardworking, good, defensively, so hopefully they can bring some structure and some things that way, which will help the game in that sense. Manson will hopefully be good for a guy like Evan Bouchard. Bouchard certainly comes with offensive talent, still learning to defend at the NHL level, has his games when it's decent, but it's not consistent. That's what you see a lot. And even as much as Darnell Nurse is a big horse for them and logs a ton of minutes, big important player for the Edmonton Oilers, sometimes has his moments defensively too. Even, though you need more structure in that sense. So I don't know what's going to happen here with the Edmonton Oilers, but they're certainly relying too much on high-end talent. They need to adjust some things here with this team. Ken Holland needs to make a few trades, in my opinion, and we'll see if this new coaching staff can inject some new life and they can get a bounce back here and get themselves back on track. But for the second consecutive day, an NHL coach is fired, an NHL Canadian coach is fired. I'm not sure we're really going to see that anymore in Canada this year. We also saw Paul Maurice step down on Winnipeg. We know Daryl Sutter is still fairly new in Calgary. He's got a longer-term contract. He's not going anywhere. And I don't think the Ontario teams with Sheldon Keefe in Toronto and DJ Smith in Ottawa, I think they're relatively safe right now. Of course, we saw the whole Montreal situation yesterday with Ducharme being out and Martin St. Louis being announced as the guy taking over. But is this the right move for the Oilers? Will they really be able to get on track without making some additional trades? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.